Welcome back, YouTube. So I know a lot of people have been asking, okay, what are the effects as far as what AMC is going to have on Dogecoin? Do I think the squeeze is still going to happen? Am I still holding my AMC shares? The answer is yes, I'm still holding my AMC shares. Yes, I do believe the AMC squeeze will have an effect on Dogecoin and really the crypto market in general. And yes, I do believe that it's still going to happen. Um, and when it comes down to the squeeze or even just the positions being held, when this whole thing first started, I believe it was back like in March when we started like having like those really early transitions. I remember getting a bunch of emails and even messages saying that people were either going to sell all of their shares and go to AMC, or they were going to hold both. And I always recommended holding both because that's what I'm doing as well. And I know the people that said that they were going to sell their shares, they probably thought that it was going to happen a lot sooner, and myself included. I didn't sell any of my shares, but there's no way that I anticipated that this thing would drag out as long as it has. But we're here. I do believe that we're getting close, but nonetheless, we're here and we're holding on. But I do believe that there is a large crossover in the market when it comes down to AMC and Dogecoin. And I do believe that there's a big interest from AMC holders that's going to be in the crypto market as far as what they're going to do with some of the profit that they take out of AMC. So with that being said, we're going to come to a situation where we're going to have the opportunity to pick which coins that we want as far as to inject the money that we're going to get from this play. And I do believe that a lot of people are going to come back to Dogecoin because a lot of times we have the market will go into like a correction, and some of the coins that are farther down on the top 10 list or coins that the mainstream media deemed not worthy to be there, they're going to be like, oh, Bitcoin had a correction, but Dogecoin crashed. And, it's just little words that they use when they report certain things. Like Dogecoin is crashing and then Bitcoin is having a correction. I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's all perspective. But I do believe that with the crossover, we're going to see a large rally here with this particular coin. And of course, on the other half of that, we do have the direct partnership between Dogecoin and AMC that is scheduled to come out in the first quarter of 2022. Now, this is going to be a huge factor as far as for having a direct injection with trading goods and services for actual Dogecoin and potentially making AMC an actual whale as far as the wallet goes and holding Dogecoin so that we can pretty much remove a lot of that excess coin from the market and have it pretty much being held. And of course, that ultimately will push the value of the coin up. So I think that with the crossover and with AMC's willingness to partner with Dogecoin and pretty much come out and be one of the first institutions to do so, I think that the Dogecoin community outside overall is going to embrace AMC. And I think that, of course, AMC, with the crossover already being there, we're going to have like that mutual partnership. And I think that that's going to be for some time to come, even after the squeeze and after Dogecoin gets this utility that we're expecting in 2022 as well. As far as for projections, because I believe that's where a lot of people were going when they were asking the questions like, oh, what do I think that Dogecoin can go to if people came back to Dogecoin? Now, that is very hard to, I do anticipate Dogecoin rising regardless. But if it were some like obscene amount of money and people were to come back and start investing like crazy amounts of money into Dogecoin, like it is really, I can't give you like an estimate on that. Like it's very hard to kind of measure it because when you have these things going on in the market, it's kind of hard to put an estimate as far as for like I anticipate it's going to rise to this price. But I do believe that we're going to get a reaction. Now, when it comes down to situations like AMC, like as far as where there being like synthetic shares and manipulation in the market, I do believe that this is going to kind of stain the stock market in general, and it may cause panic and distrust in the market. So that's one of the reasons why I do believe a lot of the capital in the market, in the stock market, is going to get pulled out, and a lot of people are going to look for an alternative, and that's going to be the crypto market. And we've seen the crypto market hit 3.3 trillion this year alone. And that's without the massive panic that we're seeing in the market now. The stock market is roughly $100 trillion in evaluation. So the crypto market has a long way to go. And I think that it's possible if we have that panic and that crash and that distrust in the stock market this upcoming year, it's very possible that we can see the crypto market expand and even hit 5 trillion. And when you have the entire market technically rise like that, there's an old saying that rising tide raises all boats. And I think that that will apply here too. So regardless if people are not necessarily bullish on Dogecoin specifically, but we have the overall market trend, which is rising, and Dogecoin being a top 10, and you have these institutions that people are coming in looking to diversify. They typically diversify within that top 10. So that does normally indicate that Dogecoin will receive some of those that investment capital flowing into the market. As far as for the catalyst going, I don't believe there's a downside to AMC partnering with Dogecoin or AMC, the AMC squeeze. Both of these are great for Dogecoin's utility and also for injecting more capital into Dogecoin at a later date. I don't see there being a downside or a negative side to this. Both of these are very positive, especially for Dogecoin. In my opinion, I believe Dogecoin is getting the better end of the deal, outside of the squeeze, of course. But as far as for utility and function and partnership, Dogecoin is certainly getting the better end of the deal. Now, when we come here and we look at the cycle and we say that Doge and AMC have the potential to go to the moon together, I do believe that AMC, if AMC and Doge, these are pretty much operating on two different things. Like a squeeze play doesn't even operate under the normal cycles. That's why it's hard to do, like, like RSI and floors and all this kind of stuff like that. Like all that's pretty much out of the window with AMC. It's much more difficult to track, and especially if you're leaning towards saying that, okay, there's some foul play here, market manipulation, you can't time that. And of course, Dogecoin has its own things going on outside of AMC. So as far as for timing, if AMC goes first with the squeeze, that's great. But Dogecoin and AMC, they're pretty much trending on their own different timelines because there's two different catalysts. Outside of them being in different markets, there's two different things that are causing them to rise and appreciate in value. So as far as for timing, I wouldn't say that there's any correlation between the two as far as for them going at the same time. If you're in one or the other and you're thinking about, or if you're used to being Dogecoin and you move to AMC and you're thinking about, I definitely believe, I still stand by my statement that I made like 6 months ago. I believe that it's best to hold both, because regardless of what happens in the crypto market, it's going to turn around. And in the situation where an AMC squeezes and a lot of people, I believe there's over 4 million people, have these large investments and these large amount of capital in there, it's going to be hard to kind of time that boom in the crypto market. So if you have an opportunity, especially to get in something cheap like a Dogecoin, in my opinion, I would take those positions early. So because we have like that upswing, we all know how wild and how volatile. We all know how quickly the crypto market can change directions and start like literally shooting in the other way and have like these gap ups. So if you're on the fence, for those reasons, I believe that it's best to have exposure in both areas. Just consider it a form of like diversification. But overall, the same thing that's required with Dogecoin has been required with AMC, and that's required in most stocks and cryptos, and that's going to be patience. Patience and discipline is often an overlooked skill in the stock market and investing in general. But normally the biggest rewards come to those who are patient, and you're able to capture the market and the cycles and pretty much make sure that those cycles and those trends and even like squeeze plays, that they come to you versus you chasing these cycles and trends around, and normally you're losing money on each play. Speaking of time, that brings me to today's video sponsor, which is Skillshare. Now, Skillshare is an online community that hosts thousands of classes where you can learn new skills, deepen your existing passions, or simply fall down a creative rabbit hole. They offer classes like finances, entrepreneurship, and even stock investing. And that's one of the reasons I'm bringing it up to you, because I think that most of the community can find this actually useful. I'm actually starting with Productivity for Creators by Thomas Frank, because it's more so about me starting to build and get more organized through my productivity, because of the growth that I'm seeing here on YouTube and like my actual investments that I have outside of YouTube. So it's just more so laying the groundwork so that I'm not being pulled in so many directions, and as I try to expand my investments, because typically that's what takes up most of my time. And I know a lot of you guys get on me about not uploading every day, so that I'm working to increase my productivity so that I can be more present on YouTube and balance my outside investments. The best thing about Skillshare is it's curated specifically for learning. There's no ads, so you're not going to see a break or in any of the classes that you take that are specific to your interests. So it's pretty much just going to be go from start to finish. Now, I wanted to provide exceptional value for you all. So the first 1,000 people that click the link in my bio, you actually get a free month of Skillshare to try out. And again, they have classes on just about everything. I know most of the people that watch my channel are geared toward finances. So you can certainly take classes on stock investing, finances, entrepreneurship, web development. Really, this pretty much, if you have an interest, it's almost guaranteed to be on Skillshare. And you can have access to that for 1 month just to try it out by using the link that I have in my bio. Feel free to check it out and let me know what you think. With that being said, I hope you found value in this video. Please consider giving it a like so YouTube shares it with additional people, so that way we're not just growing in numbers, we're also growing in knowledge as well. Also, if you have not yet, please consider subscribing to the channel. You can always change your mind later, but I welcome you to become and be a part of the family here. And don't forget about BlockFi. If you open an account with them, you can get up to $250 in some of your favorite crypto, including Bitcoin and Ethereum. I appreciate all of you. Thank you. And until next time.